Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. La 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 la, oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone.
Guys, did you know that most heart attacks happen on Monday mornings? That's right. People are stressed out about returning to jobs they hate. If you dread the work week and feel stuck in a job that's draining your energy, you're not alone. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from that cycle? In this video, I'm sharing 5 powerful strategies to help you not only survive, but thrive, even in a job you can't stand. Stay tuned to discover how to turn your situation around. Now guys, the first thing is this. If you really don't like your job, guys, you have to ultimately make a plan to leave your job, right? Get another job, move on, do something else. But you've got to strategize, right? Don't just quit your job and leave your job and be done with your job. You have to actually have a strategy, an exit strategy to get out of there. Nobody wants to sit around for 8, 9, or 10 hours a day at a job that they totally dislike. If you hate the job, or it stresses you out, or it's causing you some type of illness, you've got to come up with a strategy to get out of that job. That's the first thing that you can strongly consider. How do you make a plan? And what is that plan? What is that strategy for leaving that job? And while you're working on your strategy and exit, you could soak up as much knowledge and information as you can, so that when you do leave that job, whatever you learned at that job, you can take it with you to your next job. 10 years ago, I was working for a supervisor that I really didn't like. A supervisor that would be rude, be disrespectful, treat everybody that was there badly, treat everybody that was there good, right? So one of the things that I tried to do when I had that job was to strategize how to get out of that job. I knew it was just going to be temporary, and it just wasn't that situation. But it taught me a few things about what to do when you encounter a job like that. And some of these things like that, some of these things I'm talking about in this video, or sharing that stuff with you guys. Now the second thing that I would think about doing if I hated my job is I would work on how I think, my mindset. I would sort of change my approach. This is my advice to you. Consider strongly changing your approach to your job. Don't let them see you sweat. They don't have to see you sweat, right? But look at your job and the job that you hate as a challenge to you, as something that could be a barrier, alright? It's just an obstacle that you have to get around. Take it for what it is. You have to devise ways to get around this barrier. And that's part of number 1, your strategy, right? Change the way you look at the problems on the job. The issues, whatever you think you're having on the job in terms of issues. Try to come up with a different way of approaching them and thinking about those problems, right? Understand that your job is just a job. It's not your life. Listen, I'm perfectly good with jobs. I'm not a YouTuber that comes on here and says, hey guys, You need to make sure that you never work for anybody but yourself. No, there's nothing wrong with having a job in my opinion. You just have to make sure the job doesn't have you in terms of your emotions and how you feel in your mind. Listen, you have to sort of understand that you can take your job and separate yourself from it. A couple of years ago, they were calling that quiet quitting or something, right? Where you just sort of separate your emotions and everything. You still work there, you're still there physically, but you sort of separate your emotions from the job. Yes, you have a job, but the job does not have you wrapped around its finger, where you're super emotional, you think done, you can't get anything done, you can't think about anything, and you're letting it stress you out. Listen, don't let the job consume you, right? Engross you and destroy you, especially if it's a job that you hate. Find ways to sort of separate yourself from this hearse reality that may be facing you every time you go into work somehow. Also, find a way to de-stress, right? Or how to get in a better mental place. Maybe you have a hobby or something you do, or do something that you enjoy doing on a regular, more frequent basis to sort of de-stress yourself from the job and take your mind off it. This is important, right? See, you're more than your job, right? So change the way you look at the job and figure out clever ways to overcome whatever that stress may be that's got you wrapped up at your job, right? Keep the job in perspective. Now that takes me to another thing. You've got to identify the issues that you're having on your job, whatever those issues may be. You have to be honest with yourself about what role you play in causing these issues to continue, right? Don't think that you're automatically innocent because whatever's going on with the job, you played some role in it, even if it just happened to you and you didn't do anything about it. Or if it was just something that you caused based on something you did. Maybe an attitude you had or how you approached or how you talked or what you did or didn't do, right? So you have to understand and think about your role in whatever the issues are going on at your job. Now, this is going to cause you to look sort of internally at yourself. Think about the role you may have played to cause or to bring about whatever stress level or issues you're having at your job about why you even hate your job. You've got to ask yourself, whatever issues I'm having at my job that are causing me to hate the job, are there any internal solutions? Right? Maybe if I could change the way I think about this, or do this differently, or do that differently, is there something that you can do to make those changes that would help you not hate the job so much? Hey guys, are you enjoying the video so far? Have you learned something new or valuable? If so, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video with others. Your support means the world to us and helps us create more content to help you achieve your financial goals. Let's keep growing our wealth and wisdom together. Thank you. Now let's continue, guys. Maybe you could be building some skills, taking on some projects, communicating more. Right? The point is, I want you to spend a little bit of time looking inward. And then, of course, listen, don't take everything personal at the job. You don't have to be emotional, upset, mad, or sensitive about every little thing that happens at the job. Look, if you don't get that raise, if you don't get the promotion, if you don't get the bonus you thought you should have gotten, or even if you don't get the 5-star rating where you know you got this yearly annual rating or annual report about your production or your performance. If you don't get the 5 out of 5, but you get the 3 out of 5, you don't have to take it so hard and take it so personal. It may not mean that they dislike you or that you're not valued. It could just mean, hey, they gave out too many 5 out of 5s last year, and this year they've got to give out some 3 out of 5s. Maybe that means that you're one of the people that's getting a 3 this time, right? Maybe next year you get the 4 or 5, who knows? But the point is, don't take it so personal just because you didn't get the bonus. It doesn't mean you're a bad person or a bad worker. It could just mean that it's not your time this year. Again, it's about not taking everything so personal that's happening on the job. Maybe that person had a bad day and they walked right by you and didn't say anything, didn't speak to you, or weren't even thinking about you. They're thinking about something that went on at home. You don't have to think, oh, these people don't like me. right? So just get away from that whole thinking that everything is personal and take everything on a personal level, because oftentimes it's not. Now, the other thing is this. I believe that most of us, if not all of us, every 6 months to be making sure your resume is up to par, updated with the new skills and things that you've done recently on your current job. You ought to possibly be shopping that thing around and seeing if your skills can get you more pay or a better situation every 6 months or so. Put yourself out there for interviews and see what else is out there in terms of other jobs. You don't have to just get stuck in the same job for 20, 30, or 40 years if you don't like your job. Hey, there could be, like I said, more pay, or there could be a better situation out there waiting for you. You don't have to get so comfortable. Just check every 6 months or so, have your resume updated, and put yourself out there. See if there are any other jobs that are out there for you. Now, if you like your job, you don't necessarily have to do that. It can stay put right where you're at. But for many of us, our skills can be utilized in various places, and there's always somewhere else where you can actually be in a better situation than you're in right now at your current job. So in my opinion, if you hate your job, you've got to come up with a strategy to leave your job or change your mindset, your viewpoint, how you view your job. And also, of course, take responsibility for whatever is going on there. Don't take everything personal. Be aware of what's happening around you and recognize that alternately you can do something about it. It's up to you, and it's all about taking the right action. Finally, whether you pray about it, meditate, or write in your journal, remember that leaving a job should be a thought-out process with a solid plan in place. When you hate your job, it can be incredibly frustrating, but there are steps you can take to address the situation and improve your circumstances. Most importantly, stay positive and don't fall for that one word that keeps many people struggling financially. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Remember, wealth is not just about money, it's about living a life of purpose, happiness, and fulfillment. If you liked this video, please subscribe, share it with your loved ones, and like it. Until next time, stay healthy, wealthy, and prosper.